What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Tröegs Independent Brewing, and they're out of Hershey, Pennsylvania, and this is their Nimble Giant, the 2023 release. So they're calling this one a double IPA that comes in at 9% alcohol by volume, 69 IBUs. Nice. And at the time of review, I don't know exactly how old this can is, but it does have a freshest by date of September 27th of 2023, and we're about 2.5 months away from that date, so we should be okay. Now I'm looking at this, I think I actually found the can down date. So right now, this is just over 6 weeks old, which makes sense. They probably give about 4 months. So I think this was canned on May 26th. And they give a freshest by date of September 27th. So yeah, they give you about 4 months. So I'm an idiot, but whatever. Anyway, when I did the vlog for the Shelfie Beers of July 2023, and I talked about this one, I was like, it's been a while since I've had this one. And that is factually incorrect because I have never had this one. I thought I did. I never have had this one. It's one of those like old school regional brewery beers that I thought I had and I haven't had. There's a handful from Tröegs and like Victory and Southern Tier and breweries like that. I'm like, yeah, I totally had that beer. And then I check and I'm like, no, I don't actually remember having it. So I've never had Nimble Giant. I think they released this one for the first time back in the mid 2010s. So you're talking about like 7-8 years ago. Anyway, this one has Azacca, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops, and I already read the little spiel here on the side when I picked it up, so I'm not going to bullshit you and be like, oh, I don't know what they say about it. It says, without sway, there can be no balance. Our double IPA gracefully boasts grapefruit rind, pineapple, and honeysuckle notes with a hint of earthy forest floor. Behold the wonder. All right, Tröegs, rein it in, settle down. We're going to pour this into the glass and see what we got going on here. So a 9%, kind of old school IPA. I mean, this was released for the first time, like back in, I'm pretty sure, the mid 2010s. So it's a little bit old school. This is not going to be your new school hazy. This is going to be like your old school American double IPA. And I am going to do something like that. I'm not going to pour it all in. We'll get there eventually. Want to leave a little room to get my schnapps in there. So they say, oh yeah, I forgot to say, color deep orange. Yeah, that is that orange, deep orange, golden orange color. Some good clarity. You can see my hand through it. Just under a 2 finger of a giant, like off-white, soap sudsy looking head. Carbonation not going crazy, but this glass doesn't usually promote it. Yeah, really nice looking beer. Definitely an old school double IPA. Let's get a nose. Yeah, old school. Grapefruit rind, yes. I would say even, and it's more like a white grapefruit, not like a sweet like ruby red or even pink. There's orange in here. There's like this nice bready, biscuity malt character, a little bit of caramel. Pineapple, yes, but I would also say, what is that? I want to say like a peach or an apricot. I want to say a stone fruit, but it's a little different. Maybe like a cantaloupe. Definitely a little melon vibe. They say honeysuckle. I could see I would probably mistake the honeysuckle note. What they're saying for is maybe like the malt being like a honey biscuit type of a malt sensation. But they're probably saying it's coming from the hops. Watermelon rind. And there is this nice floral, earthy, kind of dank, almost resonant. I shouldn't say resin, almost pine, like sap kind of note. Yeah, like a floral pine. Wow. This smells quite vibrant, honestly. Very intense, and I just kind of keep on going back because the flavors are really, or the aromas are really nice. The aromatics on this one screaming. Yeah, so this is definitely like an old school double IPA, making my mouth water. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That's pretty fucking tasty, honestly. Wow. I can't believe I've never picked this up. What the fuck is wrong with me? Why didn't I grab this before? I feel like, especially since I started reviewing beer back in 2018, I feel like every time I've seen this, maybe it was out of date. Maybe I couldn't get a single. I don't know what the issue is with this one, but I feel like I should have picked this up in past years, and I just didn't. Buying this is higher side of medium, lower side of full. It has a slight syrupy nature to it. 9% is appropriate. It's not like drinking, like a huge imperial stout that's super syrupy and thick and whatnot, but it just has like a slight syrupy nature to it. The mouthfeel, it's old school. It's crisp. It's effervescent. It has like a moderate carbonation. Definitely smooth on the palate, but not soft or anything. Not creamy. The taste, though, the nose follows suit for the most part. I just spit everywhere. White grapefruit rind. They say grapefruit rind for sure. There's also a little bit of like an orange, like a juicy orange up front as well. There's a caramel, bready, biscuity, honey kind of malt character that's obviously pretty complex based on what I just said, but it's not like in your face, but it's noticeable. Dives underneath the palate. Long for the ride, omnipresent for sure. Midway through the palate, I get a little bit of stone fruit. I'd say more of like a nectarine, maybe an apricot. Definitely not peach. I'm not getting specifically peach. So pop a pineapple like they say. I would say, again, cantaloupe, melon vibes, watermelon rind as well. And then on the finish, I get this really nice floral pine kind of character, a little bit of earthiness. They say, what did they say? Earthy forest floor? Sure, like I can see that. Especially if like you were in a forest and there's a pine tree hanging out. Definitely in that realm. It finishes semi to full on dry. This has a nice moderate bitterness. This is definitely like an old school, kind of hits you, you know, on the back of the palate and it sits with you, you know, it just kind of sits there and lingers. Nice lingering bitterness. I fucking forgot it's 9%. It hides the alcohol extremely well for a 9% beer. There is a warming into the chest, no doubt about it, but nothing on the palate. And I'm enjoying the flavor so much and just the experience as a whole that I'm kind of forgetting that it's 9%. Even though like the body would dictate it's 9%, the flavors would dictate it's 9%. It's just, you don't taste the alcohol, you sometimes forget. And I just did. Yeah, this is really nice. I don't know why I didn't pick this up before. It's not like mind-blowing, but it reminds me of the yesteryear beers, the beers that came out in the mid-2010s where, you know, some of these newer hop strains like Azacca, for example, and Mosaic started to really, you know, take flight in like the early to mid-2010s. You'd see a lot, especially in the mid-2010s. Mosaic was everywhere. It's still everywhere now, but like it really started taking off. Simcoe, older hop, but yeah, I mean, this is a really nice, this is, you know, a seasonal for them. And it says, and they specify right on the label, it says once a year, and then on the back it just says once a year. So don't forget, once a year. But yeah, Tröegs Nimble Giant, the 2023 release. I think this is really good, and I'm surprisingly going to give this a high 4.25 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.3 out of 5. This is tasty. Like, I mean, I'm sure I'm wrong here, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people who will not fall in this category, and some of them might come to the review and post in the comment section and tell me that I'm wrong, and I'm okay with that because I'm never really right. But I feel like if you're somebody who enjoys old school hop forward beers, but likes some of the new school stuff, but you're not straight in, you're not a haze boy, right? You can appreciate good hazies, but like you'd still want your old school West Coast IPAs or old school American IPAs, or in this case, a double IPA. I don't understand. I shouldn't say I don't understand. I wouldn't see how somebody would pick this up being a person like that and not enjoying this to some degree. Maybe it's not as bitter as you like. Maybe it doesn't have as much flavor as you like, but I don't feel that you would dislike. There's no brewing faults here. And I think it kind of encompasses what beer was, you know, 7, 8, 9 years ago, especially from a hop forward perspective. So this is pretty fucking good. Price point availability, a little bit pricey, especially coming from Tröegs. Tröegs usually has great value and with their price points. 4-pack of this, you know, 16 fluid ounce can. In my neck of the woods, it was $17.99. I paid like $4.69. Nice. $4.69, two nices in one review, for that can. And I would expected this be more like $4 a can max and probably around, you know, 15, 16 bucks a 4-pack because it's Tröegs. But I'm not mad at it for that price point. Definitely a bit high. Now, near neck of the woods might be cheaper, but here in Buffalo, New York, it was $17.99, and I picked up a single. So it is what it is. Let me know what it is in your area. If you pick this one up, might be cheaper, might be more expensive, who knows. And availability is Tröegs. This is a seasonal from them. They say once a year, twice on the can, so it's definitely seasonal. If you see Tröegs, you probably should have seen this at some point. I think this also comes, or maybe it does anymore. I thought it came in 12 fluid ounce cans too, maybe in like 6-packs and 12-packs, but I'm not positive. Anybody out there knows, let me know. Throw in the comment section. I would appreciate it. And I would say if you see this on the shelf, right now, again, just over 6 weeks old, drinking extremely well. This is probably going to hold up for another month or so based on what I'm tasting. So if you see this one on the shelf and you're curious, grab it. See what you think about it. Anyway, huge thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.